Hello again and welcome to Film Bite. It's been a summer of a lot of travel so far with not a ton of downtime. Gabrielle and I just got back from Israel and Prague. She's driving right now because we're now heading down to San Diego. We had a quick turnaround, wash some clothes, get back in the car. And on our flight from Israel back here to the US, able to watch some more movies, some new, some rewatch, some to rewatch, some just kind of for fun. And I'm going to do a quick review of the three films that I watched on the way back from Jerusalem. First, got a chance to catch up on the movie Free Solo, a documentary film that won the Academy Award this past year for documentary feature. It follows if you're into rock climbing, you probably already know him, Alex, I believe his last name is Honnold, who has done a lot of free solo climbing, so solo climbing work without rope, and famously a few years ago climbed El Capitan in Yosemite Park by himself without ropes, going up over 3,000 feet up a rock face by himself. And the documentary follows sort of his journey and his prep work for getting ready for that climb, and the camera work and the work they've done to capture his climbing, both his rope climbing and his free solo climbing, is really incredible. The directors, actually a married couple, did an amazing job planning and capturing some just objectively difficult shots of someone doing an absolutely incredible physical feat. And the movie attempts to balance sort of giving you some insight into Alex's daily life and his sort of personal struggles and motivations, and balancing that against his goal to climb El Capitan. And it doesn't always do that particularly well. The strength is definitely in his in the moments of watching him climb, and the last 20 minutes of him actually attempting to climb El Capitan are spectacular. But the film doesn't always do a great job of keeping the more personal stuff interesting. I think that it maybe tries to bite off more than it can chew and doesn't give a ton of justice to the other little bits. It kind of bounces around between different ideas and themes and struggles of this climber in a way that doesn't always feel very coherent, and I think that's to its detriment. While it is an entertaining film at times and enlightening for some of the struggles of people who do this for a living, I don't know if I would exactly recommend it. I think there's a lot better documentaries that came out last year. And I'm a little disappointed that it won Best Picture, although Jimmy Chin, one of the directors, did go to Carleton, which is my alma mater, and I'm proud of him for the work he's done and his devotion to climbing, for sure. And it's a solid documentary, but I think there were for sure better ones last year. I'd probably give it 2.5 out of 5 bites. After that, Rios and I, Gabrielle and I, got a chance to rewatch one of our sort of favorite animated films. We watched Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Were-Rabbit, which from the first notes of that wonderful theme song, I believe it's called A Grand Day Out, which is also the name of the first Wallace and Gromit short film. It just keeps an amazing sort of balance of humor and joy and mystery, and it is just an all-around wonderfully animated and voiced and written film. It balances the fun quirkiness of Wallace, who is obsessed with his technology and his inventions, who is in charge of protecting the locals' vegetables from rabbits, and Gromit, who helps him out, who is the more practical and down-to-earth of the two. And they protect the people's vegetables from rabbits as the upcoming large vegetable competition is approaching. But something happens, and there is a large monster rabbit, this were-rabbit, who begins terrorizing the vegetables in the local village, and Aardman Studios, Aardman Animations approaches this topic with such wonderful levity and joy, balancing references to other films and these sort of double entendres and just quirky humor, and it's just a wonderfully joyful film. I would highly recommend it for adults, for kids, for anyone. It is beautiful. The voice acting is incredible. Ray Fiennes plays Victor, this sort of upper crust hunter who is in part your villain. Peter Sallis continued his work as Wallace, and Helena Bonham Carter as the sort of love interest who propels the story forward with her vegetable competition. It's just a wonderful, joyful film. After that, got a chance to go back to 1979 and watch the first Mad Max. As those of you who might know me know, I'm a huge Mad Max fan, and getting a chance to go back there and watch young Mel Gibson and a young George Miller direct this really low budget, really truly kind of exploitation film with these crazy outfits and cars and characters is just amazing. For a amateur or starting director, George Miller does an incredible job with this shoestring budget film. Supposedly he was like literally stealing stuff from stores during the night to be able to use it in the movie, and then put the stuff back before the storekeepers got back, and raising money by donating blood and all sorts of things just to make this movie happen. And it is amazing that it balances action and romance and quirky sort of post-apocalyptic worlds, all just in this incredible, wonderfully directed and well-acted, low-budget masterpiece. And I'm super excited that that gave George Miller a chance to show what he's capable of doing on such a low budget. And as you watch the other films, if you get a chance to, and you see how his vision and his budgets grow, it's awesome to see where it all started, and I was able to carry his sensibilities and visual style into his other films. His work with cars and his directing of Cars and Chases is really, really amazing, even in that very first film, and it's wonderful to see how it's developed over the years. If you get a chance, I would watch it. Oh, I guess I forgot to give the number of bites for Wallace and Gromit too. For Wallace and Gromit, I would give it 4 out of 5 stars. Highly recommended. 4 out of 5 bites. Highly recommended film. For Mad Max, I would also give it 4 out of 5 bites. Highly recommended film. Both wonderful in their own ways, and if you get a chance, I'd recommend watching them. As Gabrielle and I continue to travel around, we'll watch some more movies and give you some updates. Sorry not been able to sit down with all my equipment and give good reviews, but I'll be back into it pretty soon. I'm going to let Gabriella sign off. Can you give us your best Wallace Cheese impersonation? Cheese. There it is. This is Con Mark Walter for Film Bite. Remember, every film I review is worth watching. Taste takes training, so train yours. Keep watching movies, and we'll see you again next time on Film Bite.